My name's John Fitzgerald. I'm running for Congress in District 7 right here in California. And if you scan this hillside here, each and every cross on this hillside represents a fallen soldier, a man or woman who died, we are told, for a just cause because we're attacked on 9/11 by Al-Qaeda and terrorists who hate us and don't like our freedom and democracy. And now we have the drumbeat going towards Iran and Pakistan. And every congressional person has actually appropriated money to continue this war effort. And there's so much information the American people have not been told. And a lot of people in the world know this information, but our media is controlled. I found information about 9 months ago through my son. Videos, journals, documented through organizations tied to our government and the military that were speaking about a different story about the events of 9/11. And I researched it extensively. And I found out that this information was extremely credible and based on scientific evidence that our government still doesn't have to this day. But they tell us to believe the story about the attacks of 9/11, the official story. Well, to me, dissension is the greatest form of patriotism. And I'm running for Congress so the American people can find out the truth about what all these crosses on the hill truly represent. We need a new investigation, a truly independent investigation of the events of 9/11. We haven't had that to this day. And if you look at the chair people of the 9/11 Commission, Mr. Keene and Mr. Hamilton, in their book and in interviews since the Commission released their report, they admit that they were lied to. And the entire commission was set up to fail. It was a whitewash. And the majority of Americans don't know that. And these are the chair people speaking about it. The man who was the director of the 9/11 Commission that was in the backdrop that you never heard of was a man named Philip Zelikow, who wrote a book with Condoleezza Rice about how to get us into a war with Iraq for oil. That alone makes me call for a new independent investigation. If that's not a conflict of interest, then what is? And the families of these fallen soldiers deserve to know the truth about the events of 9/11. And I want to know the truth. We all should know the truth. And all I'm asking our government to do, if they want to discount us as nutcases who question the events of 9/11, the official story that was put out, then I challenge you, Mr. George Miller, a man I've always voted for since I was 18, who I considered quite progressive and a good person. You and all the other people in Congress and the Senate, I challenge you to declassify all the documents pertaining to 9/11 and release it to the world and the American people and let them make up their own minds. I need your vote to do so June 8th in the primary. George Miller's been in office for 36 years. I think it's time for a change, and I will fight tooth and nail to fight for these fallen soldiers and their families. And don't forget, people, we're also putting a drumbeat towards Iran right now and Pakistan. These wars are not ending, and they're not going to end until people like us stand up and take on the machine. And the machine are the elected officials and the corporations that control our government. Please vote for me, John Fitzgerald, in the June primary. That's June 8th. Thank you very much.